What's up, guys? This is Jesse Ogle, and this is the Vibe Dialogue Podcast. It's a podcast for creatives, and I'm doing a special segment on my time in Squid Game The Challenge Season 2. I'm interviewing a host of players. Today, this episode is going to feature player 361, Faith Dunn. She was an epic character in this show and was a genuine human that deserves to be recognized and really deserved to win. But I think you'll enjoy this conversation. There's a lot of laughing. It's fun. Again, like, subscribe, all that stuff helps. I also will be releasing the permanent segment of this show with my co-host Blessing Chimanga. So stay tuned for all this great content and enjoy this episode. What's up, guys? This is Jesse Ogle. I'm your host of Vibe Dialogue Podcast, and I have a very special guest today, player 361, Faith Dunn from Squid Game, The Challenge Season 2. Faith, how are you doing?
I am great. I'm happy to be here this morning and happy to be part of the cast. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I know you're in Eugene or Springfield, Oregon right now. Eugene, where are you at?
I'm in Springfield. It's okay, not same difference, but close enough.
Yeah.
Springfield.
Yeah. And I think I was telling you, I lived there for 8 years, and I ran this music school on Willamette Street next to Turtles called Harmony Roadhouse Music School. Do you know that? Do you remember that little music school there?
I only remember because of Turtles. I had a family member, like a friend used to work there, and it's so sad because Turtles isn't there anymore. But
yeah. The whole town has changed incredibly. Like, I lived in the Whitaker neighborhood for almost the entire time I lived in Eugene. And now the Whitaker neighborhood is just blown up. It's like the hipster area now, it's so what do you do? What do you do there? What's your passion or jobs or what? Yeah.
So I actually make my way around quite a bit of Lane County. Lane County is really big, but Springfield, Eugene, I'm a registered nurse, but I work in home health. So I get in my car, I drive to people's houses and do their nursing care at home, but that lets me travel quite a bit. So I find myself in all the areas of Eugene, and it's crazy because you can be in one area and go to another and be like, wait, this can't possibly be the same place, right?
Yeah. Did you grow up there your whole life, or did you move there?
So I actually grew up for the beginning of my life in Arizona. I was born in Flagstaff, and then we lived in Tucson. But I'm curious about that. But then we moved to Oregon, and I actually went to Cottage Grove High School, went to middle school in Cottage Grove, Oregon, went to high school in Cottage Grove, which is just 30 minutes south of Eugene and Springfield. And so mostly I'd say I grew up in Oregon. It's where I call home.
Okay, crazy. I was born in Tucson and I live in Flagstaff. So that's the opposite.
Okay. All right, that's really weird. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. That's wild, huh? Yeah. So now I live in Durango, Colorado, and I live in Boulder, Colorado. So I live in halftime. But I was just in Eugene this summer, visiting some friends, hanging out. I went camping. I did the Three Sisters Wilderness hike, the City Falls this summer, and so I wish we would have connected more about this. Of course, I wasn't in the game as long as you were. You were crushing it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you know what I really liked about, they don't tell the story on there. There's so much to be told, and they have to condense it. And they condense it in less seasons than they ever have. But one thing I thought was really great, that was so authentic about you, is you were asking, I think, Perla, well, what are you going to do? Or was it Perla? I can't remember.
Deja.
Okay, Deja, what are you going to do for yourself? How are you going to support yourself? And it was a really genuine moment of this self-care and I thought that was a really cool thing of just honoring self and it's okay to you want some of this to support you, right? Yeah. So I thought that was a cool moment.
Thank you.
Any other moments that they didn't tell that you wish that any stories or moments that you wish that would have went out? That happened?
Well, Okay, so I have to say, I had the name for the musical people that got us there. I called y'all the Angel Squad. To me, it felt like you were little angels, and you came in there and got me to the next step. So I felt like they didn't, show, but I felt really obligated to you guys. Like if there was a time that I could repay you or anything besides just self-eliminating, like I owed it to the Angel Squad. And so, when it was time to vote X or O, someone from the Angel Squad was up there. I was like, I'm going O.
Yeah.
This is my opportunity to pay back. And so, like, I was all about the squad that got us through because I was like, we would not be in this spot right now if we didn't have that group of people that counted and did their musical stuff. And that was crazy. Also, they didn't show a lot of the relationship building. So, player 183, Steven, who ended up taking me out, we were in an alliance with Deja. Like, they took out so much of the relationship building that I think left out a lot of context for why certain decisions were made later on in the game. So I wish they would have showed that. And there was also this really wholesome moment in Slide to Ladders where it was my turn to roll the dice. And I just wasn't feeling lucky. And I looked at Dej. I'm like, Dej, roll the dice. She's like, what do you want me to roll us? I said, roll us a 6. And she rolled us a 6. And we went. And I'm like, wow, you guys didn't show that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Well, thanks. I really appreciate being called the Angel Squad. I feel like what we did was very special. It's never going to be repeated again. Like we're like it's like in a few people's hands to like make sure this whole group of people moves forward into the next game. And
chills.
Yeah, it was. And everyone I've talked to, almost everyone, I would say I've talked to about 20 people like I've interviewed now. And the majority of them are saying like that was the biggest emotional moment of the whole time for them was that moment. Yeah,
it was incredible. The energy in that room, I've never been part of something like that. That was crazy. And it was really, I'm sorry, but it was the Angel Squad. Like we were all like chickens with our heads cut off. Like, and then the fact that the song was what, Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so my grandpa, my family, they're like hippy dippy, and my grandpa passed in 2014. But I very much felt like his energy, his presence, like guardian angel status. And then you guys chose that song, and it's totally a hymn song, and I was like, this is crazy.
You know what? I was like, you know what? They've got to play that. So I went and retracked that song and released it. And I was like, cool, man, people are going to want to find the song. Like I released it. Like they didn't tell any of that story. And so I put all this money into track. The tune sounds sick. You got to check it. My band, I have a few bands I'm in, but one that I released in there is called New Bass Theory. And I rearranged that song and released it. And it's the track is fire. And I was like, oh man, people are they're gonna check this out. But yeah, I mean, that was the whole premise. Like I play this song, teach this song. I've got this, you guys. No.
And you did.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah. And like I've talked to a lot of people about this, but like, they don't tell you the rules, which I wish they would, of that, like saying like, hey, if you go over, the tiebreaker goes to who's under. So we said as a team, we're going to stop 2 seconds short. We nailed it like perfectly. Yeah.
I don't know why on earth they didn't show that. I'll never understand.
I'll never understand either. And like, if you were going to really help anyone's career, you could really help us musicians out by like playing that little section,
That was so cool. I'm like angry for you. I'm so angry for you. That should have been like on display.
I know. Gosh, what can you do? Apparently, I'm sure you probably feel like this in some ways too, but like, apparently that's not my path to win that money. My path is different than that. So, and I
can relate.
It's okay. But I bet I've got to think I'm wondering, at least you must have been feeling that it's getting close and like, you're like,
I was right
so
there.
Close. You must have been, what was that like? Like you had it been like really like you had been like thinking about it a lot, right?
Yeah, well, we took like a top 10 photo. It was top 11. Trinity was wherever Trinity was, but we took like a top 10 photo, and I was like, wow, like I knew I could do it, but it's a game where anything could happen. It's a lot of luck. So I was like, I was prepared to lose, but I wanted to win. And so as we got closer and closer, I was like, I am really in the running. Like I can really take this win home.
Yeah.
And then I messed up.
Yeah. I mean, the game that you got out on is so hard. That is so hard.
It is.
Like the chances are the worst chances, like I mean, even in the very first game where half the people get eliminated, you get a 50-50 chance. And your chances are there were like 1 in 10 or 1 in 11, right?
By the time I got out, it was 1 in 10 because I got out 9th. So yeah, no, it was 1 in 9. Wait,
1 in 9. Yeah, if you're in the 9th out, that's 1 in 9, right?
1 in 9.
That's a wild chance. If someone said, "Hey, you have a 1 in 9 chance of winning $4.5 million," you'd be like, I'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so annoyed they didn't show the context of the fact that player 183 and I were closely aligned the whole game. We played Mingle together the whole game. We were in an alliance, and that was why you see me like go to him, no, go to him, no. They took that out, and it took away all the context.
Oh my gosh! And Deja knew it was him, which is crazy, huh? So it's like,
but it's like that's a lot of responsibility. Like if she would have said it was him and she was wrong, and I had went home, like it was just one of those situations. It was hard to know what to do. I think she did the right thing. Everything worked out as supposed to, and I don't know that episode 8 would have been titled Faith had it not all gone that way. So.
Yeah. How do you think this is like, has this changed you in any way? Like, has this changed your life in any way? Or is it just pretty much like back to normal? Nothing's changed.
Oh no, my whole life is different. It's just like a difference in me, like a difference in me and experience and like knowledge and growth. So it's just like, I feel different. I feel empowered. Like that was such a cool experience. So now I've seen a lot of people being like, goodbye, this is the end. And I'm like, no, this is the beginning. Like, I'm not going to let this opportunity go. Like, I am going to do everything I can to capitalize on this. I've been doing my TikTok lives every evening. Like someone's like, you only have this many followers. I was like, yeah, we all start somewhere. I only have that many now, but I'm taking this to the end. I'm taking it to the bank. I didn't win, but I'm gonna make it a win.
I love it. I mean, gosh, and like there's so many deserving people, but like, you were one of the, not everyone's like a genuine, like, I guess I would say some people have alternative motives in there, right? I mean, and some people really didn't need the money,
I know.
or they didn't have like a cause or anything,
No.
I wish that Squid, someone else mentioned this. I'm just going to repeat what they said, but like, I wish that the Squid Game was actually like the movie where it's like, look, you got to give me your income statement, before you could get in this show, like if you're making over X amount of money, you're out, like, what I'm saying? So, cause like, there's some people that just didn't need the money.
Which I wish those people would just fire, like, okay, fine, whatever. Who am I to say who deserves to be there, whatnot? But if you're there and you're already a millionaire, like, how dare you judge people for being emotional, for acting any type of way to win this money when you've already won? Like, yeah, we're not millionaires. We're going to be emotional. Like,
totally.
Could you have a little understanding? I mean,
yeah. I know. Right. And I think there was some people, it's just like, some people I think were just like, I'm just in it for the experience, which is totally cool. And I mean, gosh, I love playing games. So like, one of the things I will like do, I just like playing games, but holy shit, these games are not like normal, like, they're like, I asked a lot of people like, hey, did you suffer any trauma from this? Because like, I left that, like when I got back to the States, I was just like walking around like a zombie, and like pretty much everyone has said the same thing. Like, dude.
Yeah, I had to get back and I had to like, I was lucky I had a few days before I had to go to work and I had to just like take care of myself. I had to like sleep regular, like normal things felt like I had to get back into doing them. Like, I have to cook food. I have to driving. I have to drive my car. I was like, this is so weird. Like normal things were weird. And it just, I think it's weird that I missed it. Like I missed the people. I missed the experience, but like I was happy to be home. I don't know. It was mentally, it was traumatic. It was a little traumatic. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was, and it's got good and bad. I mean, like we talked. Gosh, who was it? I think it was. Oh gosh, now I can't remember. We've talked about this with so many people. One of the cool things is like just having your phone taken away. You know, it's
Yes.
just like
I thought I would hate it and I loved it.
yeah, it's like that's so funny how they like what happens when you don't have your phone, like that you're just able to like connect deeper with people. Go figure,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah,
it's
I've
just
seen
like
schools, they're like trying to move towards getting like students not having their phone during the school day, which safety, blah blah blah. But when I think about the way I was able to connect with people without a phone, I'm like, maybe that's exactly what the youth needs
oh, I
nowadays.
know. I never had my phone in school. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, totally. Well, I know I've been like asking, a lot of people like, like how's this changed you and stuff like that. Like what would have you done with the money? Like, because you said like what you could do for yourself, but did you have like,
Mhm.
was it just, were you there for the game? Were you there for the money? Was it both? Like, did you have a plan?
It was like both, and my plan was to just be myself and see how far that would take me. I figured I was like, well, I never had 4.56 million to begin with, so going and doing this, it's like I might still come back without 4.56, but at least I got A, B, C, D, all of these things that I got to experience and do. So I didn't even mean to really get on the show, which I know sounds crazy, but it was like an accident. I went to LA with my friends to just visit, like my middle school friends. Literally, I'm like 29, we've been friends forever. And we were like, oh, let's do something fun. So we found the in-person trial experience, and we went and played that for funsies. Well, I'm ultra competitive, and so I was like, I gotta win this thing. And so I won. The prize for winning the in-trial experience is that you can apply for the show and they'll give your video priority, like they will watch it.
Oh,
And so it was
crazy.
like, yeah. And so I was like, well, I guess I won this. I won. Like, I guess I should at least submit my video, because why would I not? I'm in this position. So I was like, all right, submit my video, submitted it, and never thought about it again. And then all of a sudden they contacted me.
When did you know you were on?
I knew pretty early. I knew
Okay.
like end of September, beginning of October. Like I knew pretty early that I was on. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, it was.
did you start practicing the games? Like, did you
So
grab
like
some?
I told myself I would, and then I didn't.
Oh,
I
really?
don't know. I don't know what it was. It was like I told myself I was gonna do A, B, C, D to get ready, and then it was like the universe was just like, just go with the flow, kid. It's gonna be fine. Just
It
go. Like
was.
you made it this far. Like
Yeah.
just go with it. And so I did, and I didn't practice any games, and I just it went where the universe took me, and it went very well.
What did you have in pentathlon? What game did you have?
House of Cards.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't. I mean, how'd you do in it?
I was scared I was going to be the slowest, but I guess I did well enough that I wasn't the slowest, obviously. But it was hard. I
Yeah.
have a steady hand. My hands don't
Yeah.
shake. It was hard. It was
Yeah.
under that stress. Like poor Grace.
Yeah.
Poor Grace.
I know. That's funny because I knew I was going to be on super early too. I was picked in like late August.
Dude, that's sooner than me. I have time blindness.
Well, no, you're out of most people I talk to people who are like on the show 2 weeks ahead of time,
Yeah, like
So like they just okay, I got a call and I'm going,
yeah.
people like around Thanksgiving, all
Mhm.
different timelines. Yeah, you're actually one of the more earlier people I've talked to about it. Yeah, so like I bought the Ganji and I bought Dachi and I bought the top. I was all doing the top. We never did that. I had like all that stuff. I had the top down and I was like, oh, if they do this, I had Ganji, I was really good at Ganji. And so I picked that game and we got
Mhm.
our team through really quickly. But
Good job.
yeah, I mean, that's like, but it's a lot of, there's, I think there's a lot of people that had practiced at the Ganji. So like if you had
Mhm.
someone on your team, there's a good chance people had practiced it. Did someone who had it, do you remember who had it in your team?
So nobody on my team. So I ended up being on a 3-and-3 team, because there was
Oh,
5-5, 4-4. I was a 3-on-3. I think we were the only 3-on-3. But my Jason, we didn't have anyone on our team that had done it, but he had played jacks with his mom as a kid.
Okay.
So he was the only one that had even a little bit of something. So he took that one and he got us through.
What was your 3 and 3 then? Did you have to do all of them, or how did that work?
So they took out ball and cup and throwing stone, and we started at Gongi, and then we started there and did those last 3. Yeah, so it was 3 on 3, so it was like fair among us. But when we finished, the team we went against hadn't even gotten past their first one. They didn't have anybody that had practiced either. So
wow. Yeah. Gosh, yes, they didn't play any of that, of course, because I probably would have looked weird or something if.
They would have. There was, and I heard that there was a team of 4 on 4 too, but they didn't show them because then it would have, made people ask questions and whatnot. But it's like our fault. There was uneven numbers, which is just how it played out.
Yeah, and then going back to the voting, I've talked to a lot of people about the voting too, and like when we had to vote the 5 slowest players off. You voted O.
Mm-hmm.
I voted O. Why would you vote X? What would be the argument for voting X?
I guess people's argument was that they were scared they would come for the next slowest group or the fastest. I thought to myself, well, I'm probably the next slowest group, but karma's real, so I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm voting O.
I know, and I feel like you gotta test them, call their hand. It's a game too. You gotta play the game with them and like force their hand. I
bet it would have been fine, and everyone would have stayed, and then they would have come up with something else down the road to eliminate people.
Absolutely, right? Oh man, that was a big character reveal right there, wasn't it?
It was very telling. It was unfortunate. The majority of my core group voted X.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I didn't want to make any decisions where I'd go home and feel like I was bad for that. I just didn't want that.
Yeah, me neither. I was like, no way. I was like, I've said this to you, I was like, let the game take people out. It's gonna take people out. So,
yes,
it's so interesting how that reveals character, right? And it's almost in a bigger way. Like there's the people that really stick to morals, and the people are like, fuck it.
No, I couldn't. Like it really didn't even cross my mind. It really didn't. Like, and then August and I were sitting there and we were just talking about like cosmic karma. So it sounds like if we were up there, what would we want people to do? Like, I just really believe in it. Like, if you don't have to do someone dirty, like there's just no reason to do that. And I also had my teammate that did the Dachi, the kicky one. She was the slowest up there. So I had a teammate and Angel Squad up there. Not me.
Right.
No,
yeah, totally.
That bad juju. No.
Yeah. 100%. I also thought it was funny how like you were able to call bullshit on John T. Dude, that guy, look, when I knew that was bullshit from the beginning. That guy was full of shit and was right completely there for self-fulfillment. I don't believe anything he said, even about his grandpa or any of that shit. That guy was, you know what I'm saying? Like, right?
Yeah.
And I'm talking shit a little bit, but like, dude, you called that shit. Yeah.
You're fine. Did you? Okay, something funny. I can't remember his name, but when I said it, he went, like, right behind us. He's sitting next to us, and I said it, and his jaw drops, and his face was hilarious.
Yeah.
But John T, outside of the games, I did talk to him and stuff, and he seemed more genuine because he wasn't having to put on his whole show. So outside of it, when it was just talking with him, he was much cooler. But in the show, I was like, he comes up and puts his arm around me. I'm like, you picked the wrong one today. You picked the wrong woman, John T. Not me. Nope.
Yeah, I'm so glad they caught that on camera. Like, wow, that's such bullshit. And then
they shot back to me going, I genuinely rolled my eyes, and they show me doing that too.
Yeah. And Viper's like, no, you got eyes. That's all. It's just that was
my moment.
That was a great moment. I'm so glad they got that. Oh my god. Well, so yeah, I mean, I don't go too long on these because people generally won't watch past a half an hour or something. But I think the coolest thing is one is like after the fact, I was like, what? Wait, Lane County. I was like, Lane, and then I looked and it was like Springfield. I was like, this is crazy. So I go visit friends there all the time. I was really heavily involved in the music scene in Eugene for a long time. I've got a bunch of homies that are in the scene. So if you ever go out and listen to music, let me know. But I will be back and I'm going to look you up. I go to Eugene like once every year or two.
Yeah.
And so, and
Let's
I
link
usually,
up for sure.
yeah. Do you ever go to the country fair?
Yeah, well, okay. It seems like times have changed, but yes.
Yeah, I used to be the house bass player for like this. They used to have a hip hop stage called the Spirit Tower, and I was the bass player for the hip hop stage for like 3 years in a row, and it was like
awesome.
so fun.
That's awesome.
But I haven't played there. I played there on tour like a couple years ago. Oh no, I think it was like 2019, right before COVID, was the last time I've been there. But Faith, it's so great to hang out with you and laugh and connect. And I really hope that people find you. So if they want to find you and you have TikTok and all that, shout out those like handles.
Instagram, faithfully_done, DUNN, and TikTok. You think I just know my TikTok off the top of my head, and I just don't. I think it's like even just Faith Dunn, look at this face, Player 361. Find my Insta and go from there.
Yeah, and you said you're going live and stuff. What do you hope?
Oh.
Yeah, what do you hope that people like will when they find you and they connect with you? Like, how do you hope that develops, and what does that look like in the future?
I love the human connection. I love the human experience. I like to relate with people. I like people to know they're not alone and that, like it's a safe space. There's just so much, I can relate on. I'm a person of color. I favor my LGBTQ community. I'm a woman. I grew up as an only child. There's so many things that I can relate with people on. And I want to connect. And obviously, I'd love to make a little bit of money and love to, be on more shows and stuff. But really, I just like that human experience. And I want to share that with as many people as I can.
Great. I think you could probably be a very strong role model and leader in those areas. You have a voice of power, and you're able to like command a space and in a genuine, like heartfelt way. And I think people will very much connect with that.
That's such a nice compliment. Thank you, Jesse.
Absolutely. I 100%. I mean it. Well, everyone, thank you for listening. This has been the Vibe Dialogue podcast. It's a segment focusing on SQUID Game, the challenge season 2, and like, subscribe, all that stuff. And you can find my other segments. I host another segment with Blessing Chimanga from Zimbabwe. We do a whole thing on creatives. So come follow that. We're going to be releasing that whole segment in January. And Faith, have a great one. Take care.
Thanks. You too. Thank you for having me.
What's up, guys? I hope you liked that interview. That was fun. And it was a great way to connect with Faith. I think she's absolutely a role model. And also, it was really great to hear how we were the Angel Squad. And I loved hearing that. And just really getting a little bit to know her better was awesome as well. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You can follow my music. You can check out that song, Wish You Were Here. New Bass Theory. You can follow me on Jesse Ogle Music, all that stuff. You go to Spotify and, follow those links and check out that song. And put some comments in, drop some comments, say what's up, and we'll see you again next time.